What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel where I help you get visible using social media strategy and get paid using business strategy. Now in my last week's video, I basically shared with you guys the entire blueprint and cheat code on how to revive a slow growing YouTube account. But what about Instagram? If you are struggling with the amount of followers that you're getting, engagement, profile visits, or reach, then this video is perfect for you because when I started the year, I struggled with all four of these components. Everything was in the red for me. I was declining, not hitting my goals at all. And so I really spent a lot of time figuring out what would actually get a lot of these stats up. And the good news is fast forward a few months later, I now have double the amount of new followers that follow me every single week. I've doubled my reach, I've doubled my profile visits, and I've also doubled the amount of engagement that I'm getting. And so I wanna pass on the tips that I have for you as well as advice that I have for you if you're struggling with any of these four areas. Not to mention, make sure you stay until the very end of this video because I have an exciting announcement for you that you definitely do not want to miss. With that being said, let's dive right into the video. All right, so let's say you're someone who's unhappy with the lack of follower growth that you're getting on your Instagram account. What exactly do you do? Well, at the heart of it, what you have to realize is that you have to give people a reason to follow you. So I want to introduce you to something that I like to call the feed test. So the first step of doing the feed test is pulling up your Instagram account just like what I'm doing right here. And what I want you to do is I want you to cover your entire feed. And I want you to honestly ask yourself, if someone did not look at your content at all, is your Instagram bio strong enough to stand on its own? And the reason why it's important to have a really clear Instagram bio is because half the time, some people may not be looking at your feed, and the first thing that they're looking at is your Instagram bio. And just from the bio alone, it should be pretty clear on what they can expect from your account and why they should follow. In my case, on my Instagram bio, it says helping new coaches turn their followers into clients. And with that statement alone, it should be clear to them that what they can expect as content is content around coaching, content around Instagram or social media in some sorts, or also content around getting clients and business. And so you have to ask yourself whether or not your IG bio can stand strong on its own. Now, as step 2 to the feed test, you're gonna wanna do the exact opposite. Now, I want you to just pull up your feed as is right now without the Instagram bio. Now you're gonna wanna ask yourself, even if someone were to skip past your bio, is your content strong enough to stand on its own and be clear enough so that people know what they can expect? In my case, even without the IG bio, just by looking at my feed, you see some content around coaching, you see some content around social media, you see some content around entrepreneurship. So even without the IG bio, just the content alone, it is still kind of clear on what they can expect from my page. Now, the reason why doing something like the feed test is important is because at the end of the day, if you're not demonstrating to your potential followers on what value you're providing, why they should follow you, and whether or not you're consistently creating content that matches your promise, then they're not gonna follow. It doesn't matter if you have one post that went viral. If they look at your account in a bird's eye view and it is not clear on why they should follow at all, then it's not gonna convert into a follower and it's definitely not gonna convert into a client, especially if you have a business. So let's say you're someone who's watching this video and you did not pass the feed test and you're also left feeling super anxious or super confused on how to move forward with your Instagram bio or your content in general. Well, I have a special announcement that is perfect for you because I actually spent some time to create a whole brand new updated Instagram guide. This guide has over 10 pages of pure Instagram strategy that's really gonna lay out the foundations on exactly what you need to have a solid Instagram account. Just make sure that you click the link that's in my description box or in my comment section below to download it for free. I really hope that you guys enjoy this because it's basically everything you need to know about having a solid foundation for your IG account. Now, moving on to the next thing, and that is fixing your engagement. What do you do if you're not getting the engagement that you want? Well, one thing that really helped me was actually changing the way that I did my call to actions. Now, one thing that you're gonna really need to understand about Instagram is how the algorithm works. And luckily, I talk about the algorithm in depth to the point where I dedicate an entire page in this free guide that I have. So make sure you download it to understand the full picture. But one thing that you need to understand is that it's really based on relationships. That is one pillar within the Instagram algorithm. And how Instagram works is Anytime someone interacts with your account, whether it's liking your content, commenting, DMing you, watching your stories, clicking on something, or saving or sharing, that already counts as an interaction. And once those interactions are formed, then Instagram can confidently say, okay, this person has a relationship with you, and therefore we're gonna push your content to this person even more. Now, this is all important to know because if your engagement rate is low, it can create a repeated cycle where you have low engagement, then Instagram doesn't push your content out as much, and therefore you get even lower engagement, and then this repeated cycle continues. And so, what is the best way to fix this is to actually give a variety of call to actions and rotate the type of call to actions that you're putting inside your content. Because a rookie mistake that I see is a lot of people basically repeat the same call to action over and over and over again. For example, like this post or comment below. But what you have to realize is that there is a huge population of users out there who don't like content and don't comment, but they can still engage by either DMing you, sharing, saving, watching your stories, or just swiping through the carousel. Even that counts as an interaction. And so knowing this, you want to make sure that you're rotating your call to actions and you're giving a variety of call to actions that meets other people's different preferences on how they like to engage with your account. Because even for me, I'm considered a silent lurker. I follow a bunch of people that I really admire and I really like their content, but I'm someone who never publicly comments on their posts. And because their call to actions aren't really inspiring me to do anything else besides the thing that I don't want to do, which is comment on their posts, then I'm less likely to engage with them at all. And so with that being said, I actually have a whole list of call to actions that you can rotate in your content to provide a variety of ways that your audience can interact with you. The first one is swipe next. This is really good if you are someone who posts a lot of carousel content, because at the same time, some people don't realize that it's a carousel. And so the first line within your caption should say swipe next. And one little thing that I like to do is, especially if it's a graphic, I go into Canva and I make it super clear that there are multiple pages to this carousel, and I also put arrows with a call to action that says swipe next so that it's super clear that more value is baked into that carousel. Some people don't realize and they just gloss over, so that's why this is really important to include, especially if you are someone who does a lot of carousels. The next one is DM me. This is perfect for those people who don't want to publicly acknowledge your content, and that's fine, but you're opening the invitation for them to privately speak to you, privately acknowledge your content, because to Instagram, that still counts as an interaction. Now, the next call to action that I have for you is to encourage your audience to share your post. This is really important, especially if you're creating content that you feel would benefit more people. You want to include in your call to action, if this resonated with you and you want other people to know about this, share it in your stories to spread the message. That is a really great call to action to encourage someone to share on their stories, which would then give you more reach because their followers are going to see their stories. Then they're going to go onto your post and see your account. The next one is encouraging your audience to save your post. I love using this call to action, especially if I have a really educational piece of content that is longer than usual. I typically tell my audience to save it for next time or save it so that they don't forget it. Because how the Instagram algorithm works is one of the pillars is recency, meaning that if you post a content piece from last week, it's not gonna come up on the feed ever again because that's just not how Instagram works. And by the way, my guide shares all that information. And that's why you wanna remind your audience, hey, if you want to save this post, remember that you can do that because you might not see this content piece ever again, and so definitely save it into your library. So that's why that is a powerful call to action to encourage your audience to do. And of course, finally, the common call to actions that you can have is basically encouraging someone to like your post and to comment below. These ones are really great call to actions too. I definitely want you to continue doing that, but just remember that you should be rotating these call to actions so you can cater to more people. Now let's move on to the next thing that we want to fix, and that is your reach. Now, my reach was absolutely tanking when I started the year, and fast forward to today, I've actually more than doubled the amount of reach that I have on my account, which is insane, and it is really thanks to these 2.5 strategies. The first one is creating shareable content. This is not new here. I've talked about it many times before, and that is essentially instead of me constantly posting pictures of myself, which I used to do on my Instagram account, I transitioned my content strategy to post a lot of quote posts and carousel posts. Now, even though these content pieces don't get nearly as many engagements, such as likes and comments, they get a lot of saves and they get a lot of shares. And those shares, specifically when people share it on their stories, have given me a lot of traffic. topic. So I definitely encourage you to really implement a shareable content strategy if you haven't already, and really go into your insights, look at the past content that you've created, and look at all the different metrics that Instagram provides you, and really pay attention to what your top performing content has been, and double down on those pieces based on the metrics that you want to improve. That is definitely a bonus tip that I want to give to you that not a lot of people consider doing when it comes to Instagram analytics. Now let's talk about this second strategy that skyrocketed my reach. And when I say skyrocketed, I mean that this was the one thing that truly made the difference on my account and how I got incredible results in terms of maximizing the visibility that I would get on my Instagram account. And that is implementing a rigorous Instagram Reels content plan. Now, I'm not saying to just do Instagram Reels. I'm talking about creating a rigorous plan for it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when Instagram Reels first came out, I was like, okay, well, I'll just post some Instagram Reels here and there. I didn't take it too seriously, and I honestly posted a few Instagram Reels every so often. It was not consistent. Until I changed my plan, and now Instagram Reels is a part of my day-to-day content. In a sense where if I look at the 5 content pieces that I do per week, at least 2 to 3 of them will be Instagram Reels. Now, the reason why implementing an Instagram Reel strategy specifically has been game-changing is the fact that Instagram is pushing this feature out more than others. As you'll notice in a lot of news articles, Instagram is transitioning into becoming a more so video platform. And this is really to compete with TikTok. But not only this, if you look at YouTube, YouTube is also introducing YouTube Shorts. So that's just kind of how social media is trending towards right now. And so that's why you want to ride that wave as a content creator and make sure you're not just posting Instagram Reels, but you're posting it consistently. And this kind of leads to my 0.5 bonus tip, and that is posting consistently. One thing that has been game changing, at least for me, and I kind of talked about it in this video right here, is the fact that with the Instagram algorithm specifically, the frequency that you post does matter in terms of getting more visibility and getting more reach. I used to post maybe 2 to 3 times a week, but now I pretty much post 6 times a week now at this point. Now, obviously it takes a lot of time to get to this level, and you should prioritize being consistent first, even if that means posting 1 content piece a week, especially if you're starting out. But as you get more experience, I highly recommend actually posting more often. And I have the data to prove it. When I was posting less content, I got less visibility and less reach, and also less follower growth. But the moment that I switched to almost a daily post schedule, I was able to really ramp up all of my stats. That's why if you're watching this video and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even think of posting every single day, I want you to like this video so I know in the future to create maybe a content batching video for you guys, or really show you the schedule of how you can create multiple content pieces for Instagram without necessarily tying up too much of your time. If you're interested in a piece like that, make sure you like this video so that I know in the future. Also, if you are someone who wants to dive deeper on the topic of shareable content, Instagram Reels, the Instagram algorithm, hashtags, your Instagram bio, a lot of the things that we covered today and even more, again, make sure you download this free guide that I created. It is updated for this year, and it's all about the necessary foundations that you need to have for your Instagram account. So make sure you click the link in my description box and in the comment section below to download this guide. It is absolutely free, and it is packed with value. There's over 10 pages of Instagram strategy inside it. Now at this point, knowing the fact that Instagram Reels has been a pillar in terms of getting my account to a place where I'm pretty happy with, I want you to hit the notification bell, because in my next video, I'm actually gonna share with you how to make your Instagram Reels go viral. Now obviously not every single piece is gonna go viral. However, I do feel like I cracked the code, because I've posted a lot of Instagram Reels in the past few months, and I've had a few go viral, and I'm kind of spotting out the different trends that constitute an Instagram Reel to go viral. So make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next video all about Instagram Reels. Now I post a lot of content on social media growth and business strategy, so make sure you check out these 2 videos that I have right here as well. I promise they will not disappoint. And don't forget to download that free guide that is packed with pages and pages of value if you haven't already as well. Link is in the description and in the comment section below. As always, guys, I appreciate you. I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and a great life, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.